It's no use going back to yesterday because I was a different person then. Every team has its weakness, and every team has its strength. Even as a solid rock is unshaken by the wind, so are the wise unshaken by praise or blame. At the end of my life, I want every page to be filled with Jesus making much of his beauty only legacy. Miracles don't just happen. You have to work to succeed. You have to have an achievable dream. 90% of everything you believe you can achieve in life, you will. The only way out of the labyrinth of suffering is to forgive. Every beginning has an end, and every end is a new beginning. The place where you made your stand never mattered, only that you were there and still on your feet. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. However beautiful the strategy, you should occasionally look at the results. When a language dies, a way of understanding the world dies with it, a way of looking at the world. It's a big world, but we are small. Every little thing matters a lot. The prettiest flowers earn their honor in the ugliest dirt. Memory can make a thing seem to have been much more than it was. Be a life long or short, its completeness depends on what it was lived for. Go after what you want in life. Don't just talk about it. Take a step. Run. Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask, and he will tell you the truth. Life's like a painter's palette. Just when you've got everything worked out, the colors change. All the world is made of faith and trust and pixie dust. Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. Failure is instructive. The person who really thinks learns quite as much from his failures as from his successes. If those at your top are weak, your bottom will be rotten. He had a look of composed dissatisfaction, as if he understood life thoroughly. There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. Each man should frame life so that it's in future our fact and his dreaming mate. It's hard not to feel happy when you make someone smile. Mixing old wine with new wine is stupidity, but mixing old wisdom with new wisdom is maturity. I do maintain that if your hair is wrong, your entire life is wrong. The beautiful journey of today can only begin when we learn to let go of yesterday. Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. The more you talk about them, the more important they will feel. The more you listen to them, the more important you will make them feel. When it rains, it pours. Maybe the art of life is to convert tough times to great experiences. We can choose to hate the rain or dance in it. If you want to triumph in life, you must persevere. We had the experience but missed the meaning. An approach to the meaning restores the experience in a different form. Proclaim the truth and do not be silent through fear. The smallest light has greater power than the largest darkness. We are more severe judges of our own acts. We judge our thoughts, our intents, our secret curses, our secret hates, not only our acts. If I lived a million lives, I would have felt a million feelings, and I still would have fallen a million times for you. The sidelines may be safer, but life is played on the field. You always know the truth, because when you cut yourself or someone else with it, there's always a bloody show. To be haunted is to glimpse a truth that might best be hidden. The thing about a spiral is, if you follow it inward, it never actually ends. It just keeps tightening infinitely. Be not afraid of going slowly. Be afraid only of standing still. A person is wise if he listens to millions of advice and doesn't implement any of it. You are in danger of living a life so comfortable and soft that you will die without ever realizing your true potential. I believe in looking reality straight in the eye and denying it. Where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great. Your body is the church where nature asks to be reverenced. No matter how slow you go, you are still lapping everybody on the couch. Some beautiful paths can't be discovered without getting lost. Only when you accept that one day you'll die can you let go and make the best out of life. And that's the big secret. That's the miracle. Act the way you'd like to be, and soon you'll be the way you'd like to act. More powerful than the will to win is the courage to begin. Those who make conversations impossible make escalation inevitable. Philosophizing is simply one way of being afraid, a cowardly pretense that doesn't get you anywhere. Learn everything you can, anytime you can, from anyone you can. There will always come a time when you will be grateful you did. A good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving. In business, professionalism is not a tactic but a moral value. True siblings are bound together by far more essential things than blood, while more times than many blood isn't thicker than water. Trust yourself. You know more than you think you do. Dream as if you will live forever. Live as if you will die today. Your highest thoughts sometimes arise in your lowest moments. Differences are not intended to separate, to alienate. We are different precisely in order to realize our need of one another. I knew I was alone in a way that no earthling has ever been before. When you don't create things, you become defined by your taste rather than ability. Your tastes only narrow and exclude people. So create. Expressing doubt is how we begin a journey to discover essential truths. All these years of thinking, ending up like this, in front of all this beauty, understanding nothing. It's impossible to walk through solid rock. You have to walk between the molecules that make up the rock. A preoccupation with the next world clearly shows an inability to cope credibly with this one. Because this is the way things are meant to be. That's the thing about life. A lot of the time, it isn't easy at all. We just have to try to make the best of it. Keep the fight in your veins, honey. Never let it fade. Whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, enthusiastically act upon will come to pass. Success does not consist in never making blunders, but in never making the same one a second time. The worst thing, he told me, is bitterness. People end up sober. Nature is pleased with simplicity, and nature is no dummy. He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know. Keep your face always toward the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. A concept is a brick. It can be used to build a courthouse of reason, or it can be thrown through the window. Becoming well-known is the most valuable element in the connection process. No other success can compensate for failure in the home. Acts of kindness. A random act of kindness, no matter how small, can make a tremendous impact on someone else's life. We cannot go far in life if we only take the path that everyone is taking. He who has truth at his heart need never fear the one of persuasion on his tongue. If you have not done things worthy of being written about, at least write things worthy of being read. Photographs are the reflection of untold stories, unseen beauties, unexpressed emotions, and the unheard songs of life. Life is something that happens when you can't get to sleep. Follow your heart, then root its longing with the facts. It is your responsibility to find fault with me. It is mine to hear you out. But don't expect me to change. Growing up is losing some illusions in order to acquire others. Perhaps the rare and simple pleasure of being seen for what one is compensates for the misery of being it. Don't be afraid of the shadows. That only means there's a light nearby. The gods are fond of the cryptic and dislike the evident. Learning how to detach, in a healthy manner will save you from a lot of things that don't even align with your journey. Being grateful does not mean that everything is necessarily good. It just means that you can accept it as a gift. Intelligence is more important than strength. That is why Earth is ruled by men and not by animals. Thinking something does not make it true. Wanting something does not make it real. We must meet the challenge rather than wish it were not before us. Humor can get in under the door while seriousness is still fumbling at the handle.